Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So I thought we would get started on our Alice in Wonderland book. So I'm making some pages to go into the book, and dear, it's stuck. and I'm having a dickens of a time because I've got glue everywhere, to say the least of the matter. I just have glue everywhere. So let's get something stuck over here. So we're just going to have all kinds of decoupaged pages. So I'm going to show you what I did here. And what it's going to end up looking like. Well, what I hope it looks like in the end. So what I've got here is, this is just a coffee dyed piece of 8.5 by 11 paper that I folded in half. And then I took scorched timber and I ran it over the folds. And then I took my vintage photo and I ran it over that. That's all I did. That's just the natural folds of the paper. And then I took out some book pages from the book. I've actually gone on and gutted the book. And I trimmed off the edges. And I've just torn up some pages. See, I've just torn them up like this. Now, you can do this with any book, that you like. You can do this with any book. And I'm just tearing the pages up so that I have pages with bits of words on them, pages with the pictures on them. And I just glued them down. See, because I wanted some of the artwork. So I just glued them down on the page. And I used my tacky glue. Because this has to stay. Because this is going to be an actual page in the book. So, and I haven't trimmed the edges. See, as you can tell, I haven't trimmed the edges yet. And as I find little bits and pieces of glue on the back, I'm just taking and I'm turning it around. Right now it doesn't really have a top or a bottom, so I'm just creating that top and bottom as I find glue bits on the back. And if I need to come back and put more glue under that, I will. And that looks like I do. So for those pieces, I'm just using my art glitter glue, because this is going to have to dry before I can really do anything else to it after we get finished with what we're doing here. Okay, so I'm going to do this and create a couple of pages for our book. Okay, so this page is stuck a little bit, so I'm not really just pulling them up. I'm just taking the nozzle that I have on my glue and I'm just sticking it under the pages. Okay, so that one just kind of stuck on its own. So I'm just going to glue it down the rest of the way and just let it stay there. And, that's just kind of how I've been creating this. With just bits and pieces of paper from the pages that I tore out. And these are more from the back of the book, as this little Alice is, starting to wake up and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back over. And that's where my glue is coming from, I think. Now, the important thing is you need to keep your workspace clean as you do this, because otherwise it sticks to everything. So apparently I have a really wet piece up here that I need to add something to. So let's add that up there on top of that picture. We'll add that. Oh wait, let's maybe see if that'll come off. Let's add some words up there. Let's break that up a little bit. There we go. Okay. So then I've just taken a little bit of coffee that I brewed, and I've just I've just flicked it onto the page, you know, because I want this to have a little bit of color. That's all I've done. Okay, now I need to let it dry, or you can use your dryer for it. And you're just going to dry the page, okay? So if it's a nice sunny day, just sit your page outside. But I'm going to pause you while I use my dryer. Now, even though my dryer is really quiet, I'm pretty sure you don't want to watch me dry this page. Because it's really wet, I really don't want to try and manipulate a whole lot on it. Because, and I do need to move some things out of the way to get to my plug. Because, you know, it's kind of boring. So, as I'm plugging it in, I'm going to tell you that I shall be right back. If I can find the button. So, I will be right back after this is dry. Okay, so this is dry. So now, the next thing that I want to do is I got out my multi-pad of inks. I am going to use my ground espresso. Now, you need to do this with ink unless it's okay that it runs for your project. Now, my ground espresso is this one. And I'm just going to press my block in there. I just want to cover my block. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of coffee on here, get it wet. Now you can also do this with water. I just want a little bit of coffee. And I want to take this while it's wet. And I just want to kind of paint it on to kind of get some of my edges a little darker. Now this is just layer one. It's layers, layers, layers on projects like this. So just be patient. If it's not looking like what you think it's going to look like, just be patient. You know, you just keep going. You just keep adding layers. Okay. Now see it's already starting to dry, so I just need to keep going. And I'm also going to have to wipe this off really quick. Okay, let me get my wet wipe here and wipe this off before it dries. Now I'm sure you're asking, why did I use ink instead of oxide? Well, I don't want this to run when it dries. And I know this plastic's making a horrible squeak, isn't it? Okay. Now, I do have cleaner I can take over top of it. There. I think I got the majority of it off. So I'll just use my pad cleaner or my stamp cleaner on it. I think I got most of it off. Ooh, that's a terrible sound, isn't it? Okay, so the next one that I want to use on here, see, you can already tell there's a difference. It's starting to dry. Now, I'm going to continue using this one because, and I'm going to get a clean wet wipe. And this time I want to use my hickory smoke. Now, where did it go? That's the bad thing about these things. I lose them. I know it's here. Oh, come on. Where did this silly thing go? Oh, here it is right in front of me. Okay, so I'm going to use this again, and I'm going to squish it around in my hickory smoke. And this time I'm going to use water. And I don't think I got anything on it. Now I think I'm just going to do this. I like that. I like getting some color like this. Okay, let's get this wiped off. Oh, I needed some up there. There we go. I like that. Okay, so I found a spot here that's coming up that I missed. So let's go on and get that down. Okay. Now, I pulled out a couple of colors that are actually in the paper that we're going to be using in the book for pockets and side tucks and things like that. And this is about as close as I have to the colors. This wild honey is pretty good. This tea dye is about the color that the coffee gave me, so I don't think I'm going to use that. The wild honey is one of the colors that's actually in the paper. So we're going to use that on the paper. Let me go on and move these wipes right now. And the peeled paint is in one of the colors. It's not exact, but it's close enough. So I'm going to take my top off of my water bottle. And on this, I'm just going to squish it. I'm just going to squish a little bit on there. And I just want to get a little bit, see if I can get a little bit of the green. I don't know if I'll be able to get a little bit of it in or not. I might actually have to just put the green down because it's such a light color. Let's see how it does over top of those helmets. If not, what did I just do with it? If not, it's showing up a little bit. I'm just going to take it like this, I think. Because I just want a little bit of it to show up here and there. I don't want it everywhere. Just kind of like painting with it, you know, like a little bit here and there, just giving me a little. I think it's drying out, I think that's part of my problem. There we go. I don't really use this color a lot. Okay. Now for my wild honey, I do use it quite a bit. Let's see what we can get it to do. But it's looking a little dry too. Let's see if we can get a little bit of off it for the mane here of our lion. Yeah, it's showing up really well. Now, I'm just dragging my brush, my paintbrush right here across the edge of it. I'm not really adding any water to my ink pad because I don't want to ruin it. I'm just dragging my brush, trying to collect some of that ink. That's all I'm doing. I'm just dragging my brush. See, I'm just dragging it across the ink. I'm not adding water to it. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just collecting the ink that's sitting there. And it's not going to hurt your brush, you know, to do that. Now, I could use my, you know, these if I wanted. I could use one of these and come in and get a little bit more, which, you know, like this. Now, I have some glue right there, so I need to put something there. And now I need to do something with it. Okay, so now we've got some yellow. Now let's add just a little bit of this fire brick. Just be gentle. Now, you're not going to see both sides of this page because it's going to get folded the other direction. And there will be pages in between it. So, hold on, and I'll show you what I mean. There. All right, so now we've got some of the colors from the page. It's going to get folded this way. Okay, so this will have to be trimmed and glued. It's going to go this way. It's going to get folded like this. And then there will be pages. That will be the back. There will be other pages wrapped around it. So you're not going to see all of it all at one time. Okay, so that needs glue. So let's get some glue underneath it. Now, I got my number stamps, so we're going to go on and stamp it. And then I got out those little, I call them shadow stickers. Now, where's that one that was on the edge? Here. Let's go on and get that down. And I think we're going to go on and trim out the edges of the paper before we start on the stickers. And the stamping. So this is just one of the pages that I'll be doing. The others will be similar, but they won't be exact. because I don't think any of these, you know, can ever be exact, because, you know, none of the pages I'll be pulling out and trimming will be exact. None of them. So I'm just going to trim these like this. Now, I'll also be making some tags in this manner, you know, to put in the book, you know, just for continuity. Now, if you don't like this style, you don't have to do this, of course. But this can be done for any type of book. It can be done for any type of page. I'll show you another one that I made several years ago that gave me the idea. I was going through one of my other journals, and I had just very simply stamped on it. Now, I hope I haven't lost it in my stack, but the one that gave me the idea for it is done in just, I found a book that I had taken apart. Oh, goodness. I found a book I had taken apart, and the pages were fairly new. They were black and white. You know, they just were still showing as black and white. So I collaged them down just on a page this big. So after they dried, okay, whoops, sorry, didn't mean to bump you. After they dried, oh, this is the other one. After they dried, I just left them black and white. So the other day, I was making one for our journal, Grandma's Attic. So then I took my my vintage photo and I went over the black and white pages. And these are some rub-ons that I have. So I just rubbed these on, and this is going to go in our Grandma's Attic book. So my original one is just black and white, and I've stamped on it. I have a large daisy stamp. It's probably about this big. And that's it. It's just very simple. It's a black and white stamp, and I had it out to show you guys today. And of course, I've all this stack on my desk getting ready for Alice. It's gotten buried. But that was what reminded me that I wanted to do that for this. And then when I saw this laying here, I thought, I want to do this for Alice, but I want to do it on a bigger page. Well, then I got to doing this, and I thought, ooh, I want to do it on something else too. So I need to put this over here with Grandma. And then I thought, oh, I want to make some tags too. And I thought, oh my gosh, here I go. down that rabbit hole with Alice. So now I understand what they mean by falling down a rabbit hole, because my goodness, now I know why it happens, because I definitely go there. Okay, so these are the stickers that somebody had sent me. I don't even remember who it was, but if you're watching, thank you. They're called Wonderland Memories. I think I've already thanked you, but thank you again. And they're just as cute as they could be. And I thought they would be fun to use on tags because they're kind of small. I thought these would be really cute to use on tags. These are the stickers. These would be really cute on tags. So, but I got my stamps out that I bought for use on pages. So let's put these, because you never know what we're gonna see here. Now I did save some of the, of course I have a lot of the these things. I can't think of what I want to call them. The artwork from the book that I also want to use. So here are the stamps, these little number stamps that we're going to use on here, that we could use to make pockets on here. Now, after I get it stamped, I'm going to let this completely dry before I add pockets or side tucks or anything else, because it's still really, really wet. and it needs to dry. So I think, and I'm going to stamp this in black. So I'm going to use the black ink that's on here. And I hope this is big enough. Yeah. And I want to use this stamp as my first one. Now, I haven't used these stamps before, so I don't know how well they're going to work, but we're all going to find out together, aren't we? Now, I'm using ink because I want them to not run. And I hope they show up well. I think I want this one maybe up here. Oh, that shows up very nicely. These little stamps work well. Oh, they do very well. All right, so let's wipe this off. You know, they're really thin, but they work really well. Okay, I really like this one. I think this one's cute. I really can't see what's on it though, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? I think I stamp it upside down. No, this one's got numbers on it. Can you see that? It's like a little grid with numbers. It kind of gets lost in all that. Let's put it on the other side. Let's see if we can see it better. Let's put it on this side of Humpty Dumpty. Oh, it's got little pricklies on it too. That one makes it a little, all the little pricklies make it a little hard to see, but you know, it looks like little water splotches or something. Now there's another one here with a flower on it that I like. Let's try this one. Let's see if this one fits on my cube here. This one would be nice for a garden journal. It's got a nice flower on it. And I think we need one. Nope, didn't get the 7. I think these would be good to use with your, if you have a stamp press, these would be good to use for that in this page. And maybe if I make another page, I'll use my stamp press. Oh, that worked better. That worked better. I think it was just too squishy down there. Okay, so I think I want something right in there. So I have one that's just texture, and I think that's what I'm going to put there. Let's just do that one right there. So let's do that one. Oh, no, this is a number little grid one. Except it's going the other way. Yeah, I don't know how much of this you'll see because it's kind of close to the spine, but oh, there. That's a little easier to see. Okay. Let's get that wiped off too. Alrighty then. Alrighty, I think this side of this page is done. So I'm going to let everything dry on it. And we'll put it with the other pages. And then I'll make some more like this. This is the first of a couple that we're going to do. So I still haven't decided whether we're going to use the soft cover or the hard cover. And so far I have one vote for the soft cover. So you guys let me know what you think. I'm kind of leaning toward, I love soft covers, but I don't know. I can't decide. So I'm just trying to get everything together and see what all I have for it to see which way we go with it. And it just depends on how much we get together. So we'll see. So these are the stamps that I use. This is the set. This is what the set looks like. And I honestly do not remember where I got it. I'm thinking I got it overseas. Let me see if it says on here. Yeah, I must have got it overseas. It came from Germany. So, that's the only thing it says on there is Germany. So, but I no longer order from that company. So, that's all I can tell you. So, and the little stickers were a gift. So, these I'll use on tags once we start making tags. Because they're a lot smaller than I remembered them being. So, we will do that. And when this dries, we will definitely put, let me see, I think I have some other pages I can show you. Yeah, like this will be turned like this. And there will be other pages like, you know, coffee dyed pages like this. Plus some of the other pages, you know, the printed pages. I folded them and they'll go around them to make pockets. So as you're flipping through the book, you'll have a coffee dyed page, a printed page. Then you'll come to this with a pocket. You might come up to this one. And then there'll be other things. And then you'll have this, which will be more complete. And then you'll see this, other pages. So it won't be so in your face. And I may cut it apart and hinge it with something else. Because it is a little busy. So I might cut it apart and hinge it with something else. So that's what we have for today. So I'm going to go sit this outside and let it dry. And make a few more of them. So they can sit outside on my table and dry really well. So I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm so glad you did. It's always fun having friends around the craft table with me. So until I see you again in our next video here at the Ladybug Journals, ta-ta for now.